I want to get right into the Pac-Man, right? The legend, the Hall of Famer now. You share that title with him. 46 years old. If anybody can be this age and upset, you know, a guy like Barrios, a younger guy, is it Manny? Could it be Manny?
It's definitely Manny, and the reason being is because Manny is never stationary. Right. Manny is always on the move. You understand me? What has happened in boxing is a lot of people have lost the art of footwork. Right. You understand me? Not many people have footwork. Right. So if you see a guy go out and box like you'll never see in today's time too often, a guy go out and box like Sugar Ray Leonard boxed Marvin Hagler. Right. He moved around, he fought when it was time, he moved when it was time. He understood how to use the whole ring to get a victory. Now guys don't do that. Pac-Man, fortunately, is one of those guys who knows how to use the ring. So he don't stand in just one place and fight. With that being said, if his legs can hold up for 12 rounds, he's the guy to do it.
So I'm glad you said that because I understand William Skull, when he fought Canelo, that was bad. Mm-hmm. That was too much moving.
That's too much moving.
Now, that was bad. Yeah. It was worse than when it was Lara and Canelo. Mm-hmm. That was just horrible. But now that people are saying this no running thing, no other fighter be running. No, fighters not running, they're moving. Yes. So how do you feel about when people call that running?
Some fighters run.
No, Skull
He's
was
not the only runner.
Skull was bad. Not like that, bro.
So
that was horrible.
So the way I feel about that is like this. Even though you run, at some point you gotta make a stand. You can't run from me all night and say you beat me. You understand where I'm coming from? So it's like there's running, but like even Sugar Ray Leonard, and that's probably to me one of the better fights ever of showing you about timing and knowing how to pick spots to make your stand at and not.
Sugar Ray Leonard against Hagler?
Yes. He didn't run from Hagler all night. He moved till he got in position. Mm-hmm. He stayed away from Hagler. When he got ready, he stood down and dealt with Hagler. When he got ready, he got up and moved. He fought when he wanted to fight. Right. But he did fight. And when he fought, it was out of this world. Yeah. He threw 8, 12, 13 punch combinations.
He won that fight. Even though some people say that
after a layoff. But the word running has a bad connotation.
I know you feel Sugar Ray won the fight.
That's right.
I'm a Sugar Ray Leonard fan too, don't get it wrong. Mm-hmm. But after going back and rewatching it, right. Sugar Ray did a great job of convincing the crowd or the audience that he didn't have a chance before he went in there. Mm. So if he survived, most of us say he won. Mm. Because he set out 5 years, which made it look like you fighting the beast of beast at that time.
Right, boogeyman.
Yeah, you fighting the boogeyman.
And moved up in weight.
After a 5-year layoff and moving up in weight. Mm-hmm. That makes us all say, he gonna get killed. Right. So if he don't get killed, he won.
He wins.
In our eyes, right?
What about this?
Wait. Wrong. Because this man been steadily dominating the whole time. This man been holding this weight class down since you left. So if you go back and look at it and judge it point for point, dominance for dominance, who had the most control, you will probably see it as a draw. Right. But the conception that he put on you before he went in there, if I survived this boogeyman, and then he went and did some magnificent stuff to the boogeyman. Yeah. We ain't never seen anybody throw 30 punch combinations on the boogeyman. Right. He did that. So with the way he did it to impress us, it made us think he won that night. And then at that night, I would have gave it to him too.
I think that makes sense, right? But when I watched that fight, I was younger, I was a kid, and I didn't look at it from that perspective. I know. I just watched the fight. And I think a lot of the rounds were stolen by Sugar Ray Leonard towards the end of the round. You can call it flurries or whatnot, but if a round is close and I give you a little bit more in the last 20 seconds, I'm gonna give you that round. I thought it was a close fight. I still think Sugar Ray won.
Like I said, it was a close fight.
Right.
But he beat y'all by putting in y'all's head before he ever went in there. Right. I shouldn't be in with this boogeyman.
Right. I was too young. I just wanted to see Sugar Ray winning.
Me too.
Me too.
Because I was a Sugar Ray fan.
Even when he fought Hearns and Hearns dropped him twice, I was like, when I heard draw, I was like, yes! But he lost.
But shifting back to Manny, Barrios, he's not a world-class fighter, right? But he is a world champion. But this is a young man's sport, right? Would you be shocked if Manny were to win? Or should we expect the older man to just not have enough for Barrios?
Honestly speaking, nowadays with how things go, and with Manny being who Manny is, if Manny can get to 12 rounds, Manny gonna win the fight. Mm. If Barrios can hurt Manny early in the fight and not let him go 12 rounds, he might have a chance. But Manny has one of the bigger outputs for any fighter of any era.
Right.
He's a guy that don't mind throwing 3 and 4 and 5 punches at a time. He's not one of those guys that won't throw 4 or 5 punches if he see it. You understand me? So that being said, the only concern I have is how will his legs hold up? Right. Because if his legs hold up, he's gonna beat Barrios. If his legs don't hold up, then Barrios beat.
And that was my next question, because Pacquiao's last fight against Ugas, he didn't have the same legs. You know, you remember like the last part of Pacquiao's career, he was running literally before the fight, meaning an hour before the fight, he's on a treadmill trying to loosen up his legs, you know? So he didn't have those same legs against Ugas. Now that Pacquiao, 4 years later, if he comes in, I don't see how he beats Barrios. But if the 4-year layoff was good for him, then he should be able to win.
And that's why we all want to see the fight. Yeah. Because if the layoff gave him time to rejuvenate himself, hence George Foreman. His layoff gave him a chance to let himself rejuvenate. He came back and won the heavyweight championship.
Only thing difference is that George don't have to move around that much, and I don't think.
But what I'm saying, when I say rejuvenate, I mean for George, it was his mental that needs to rejuvenate. Right. For Pacquiao, it's his body, physical that needs to rejuvenate. Yeah. Either way, the rejuvenation can work or it cannot work.
I love Manny, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say that I don't think Manny has enough to beat a younger guy like Barrios. Obviously, if this fight was years ago, it'd be a wash.
Because I know what it takes to be a Manny. Right. I know that if anybody can pull it back up, it would be Manny.
Manny's 46 years old. He was out the game for 4 years. Does he deserve to just come back, even though he's one of my favorite fighters and he's accomplished more than almost every fighter, you know? Does he deserve to just come back and get a title shot?
If Floyd came back and got a title shot, would you say that? No, you wouldn't.
I would say that.
No,
yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you would not.
No, you would not.
Let me tell you something.
Floyd is capable of beating anybody at any time.
Because I think Floyd is better than Manny, I'm not a bigger fan of Floyd than Manny. You get what I'm saying? So I love all fighters. Okay. You're my favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
But if Floyd came back now and he got a title shot, I say that's wrong. Yeah. That's wrong. You know?
That's why
Manny's closer though, 4 years.
Right.
Manny's only 4 years away. I just want to know, how do you feel?
How the fight game is going now, it's like I'm glad to see him get a shot. Because truthfully speaking, for a guy of my age and Manny's age, because we love fighting more than we love the money, if you don't give us a belt, what are we fighting for?
Right.
If you ain't give him a shot, what are you fighting for? Or if you ain't promised him a shot down the line, what are you fighting for? If they didn't promise Big George a title shot down the line if he wins, what are you fighting for?
Money?
Because we don't love, we don't love the money.
Right.
We love this. This is what makes us stand up. Right. You understand me? The money, we'll get right for it. We'll try to get right. But if you tell us this on the line, that's a whole different.
But not only that, pride too, because you would fight Floyd without no belts right now.
Of course I would. Of course I would.
So pride plays a big
I'm different. That's just who I am. You understand me?
He said he's trying to be a regular person.
You feel me? I'm trying. But this right here for a boxer, a real fighter, I love the game. If you tell me you want me to fight for a belt, always, here I come. Here I come. And that's the attitude that I think Manny does have.